Hello, Audrey Lambert here, and I'm a realtor in good old Orange County, California, and I'm going to talk to you about, can I back out of escrow? What do I have to do? How much is it going to cost? So listen up. This is something a lot of people don't know. So can a seller back out of escrow if they want? And the answer is yes and no, depends. So let's get into that a little bit. Before we get into it, I just can't stress the importance of you sellers out there to really be aware of what you're getting into when you go into escrow, because you're kind of bound once you sign that contract. Typically in California, you have about 17 days for your buyer to do all of their investigations. Now, if for any reason that your buyer defaults on any of their obligations of the contract, you can give them a notice to perform, which technically has to be 48 hours before you can back out of escrow. You have to put them on notice, like, hey, you didn't remove your contingencies, so I'm giving you a notice to perform. After 48 hours, sellers, then you can back out of escrow. But if your buyers come in and say, okay, we'll remove that contingency, you got to stick to the contract. You just can't get out of it. So understand the significance of that. So I've had some of my sellers say, oh my gosh, I can't deal with this buyer. They're bringing in 25 different people to inspect the property. I've had it with them. They're disrespectful. All these things. I just want to get out of the contract. No, you can't. The contract is a legal binding agreement, and you can't get out of escrow unless they default on the terms and conditions that are outlined in that RPA, which is Residential Purchase Agreement, otherwise known as the purchase offer. Buyers out there, can you just back out of escrow if you feel like it? And the answer is yes. But is it going to cost you money? And that really depends on how far you are down in the escrow process. So it's really important to understand this, buyers out there. Okay, so listen up. So you typically have, with the way the California Purchase Agreement is written, 17 days to do all of your investigations. Once you get what's called contingency removal, and your agent will have you sign off on it, okay? And when you sign off on that agreement, you're saying, yep, I've done all my buyer's investigations, I've gotten loan approval, I had the appraisals come in at value or whatever, we're all good with everything that we've investigated, and now I'm signing off on my contingencies. And once you do that, and that paper is received to the seller, your earnest money deposit is at risk, okay? So let's say you get down to that very last day and you say, you know what, I'm getting cold feet, I don't want it, I've signed off on all contingencies. Can you back out? The answer is yes, of course, but you're going to be held liable. Your earnest money deposit is at risk, okay? Now, before you sign off on that contingency removal, typically it's at 7 days, okay? Typically, depends on how you're negotiating, but 17 days. If you want to just back out of escrow, yeah, you can for no reason. You can just say, hey, I don't like it, don't like the color, I woke up, I'm just not in the mood, just don't like it, whatever, I just don't like it. I found something else, or you don't even have to have a reason. You can just say, nope, sorry. Because in California, the laws are in favor of the buyer. We're really here to protect the buyer, and we want to make sure that you're satisfied with this large purchase. So yes, you can always back out of escrow. The question is, how much money do you lose? And the answer is, it really depends on whether or not you removed all of your contingencies or not. Good to know. Okay, so the top 3 reasons why buyers would even back out of escrow, the number one is the home inspection. So the buyer does their home inspection, they don't like what it comes back like, they're like, no, this is too scary, I'm out. Or maybe the seller's not willing to negotiate with them and they're like, yeah, no, I'm out. So that's one of the top reasons why a buyer would back out. The second one would be that an appraisal's done on the property, and perhaps it doesn't come in at value, and the buyer's like, listen, you either reduce your price or I'm not buying the house, I can't afford more, and it doesn't work out, so they back out for that reason. And the third reason, which is the most common reason why buyers back out of escrow, is because they can't get lending, they can't get a mortgage, they can't get it approved. And you have to realize, if you're a seller, you're waiting all the way to 17 days, and sometimes it takes longer to see if they're in or not on your property, okay? So it's a very, very, very long process. And in California, I do believe we have the longest contingency period, so you do have a lot of time. But once again, sellers out there, it's really important to get into escrow with somebody who's financially strong, because the longer you're in escrow, the longer your days on market calculation tick up. And there's other potential buyers out there that could be worth your attention if this one doesn't work out. So be very selective. And of course, you can always hire an agent like myself who knows how to read the financial strength in a pre-qualification letter. I'm good at that. Thanks for watching this video. If you have any real estate questions or needs, or need a wonderful real estate agent, you know who to contact. Audra Lambert. Look forward to hearing from you. And please subscribe to my channel and smash that like button. Really appreciate it. See you in the next one.